Hey everybody, this is Waldorf,
And this is Statler.
and today we have Battle Report 100.
So this is a special battle report 100. So we thought we'd do something just a little bit different.
Yeah, a little different than we did do one of these at one point, didn't we?
It's almost.
Did we not? Oh no, I guess we didn't. We had a bunch of guys. Got everybody together. We did a Forces of Evil versus the Forces of, well, almost good.
Almost good.
They did have the ogres helping them.
Yes.
21,000 on a side. It ended up, I think we had 4,000 and 4,500 point armies per side.
Right.
Is the way it worked out.
2,400s or 1,4,500?
I don't remember.
I think it was
Might have been
1,4,500.
1,4,500.
So,
Anyway, and this was all on space provided to us by one of our local stores, Huzzah Hobbies, who's done a great job so far.
yep. They even put he has two sets of tables. They actually built a filler for us so we could have one big long
So we could stretch it into
table,
one big
which
table.
we'll show you pictures of. We made a couple of, just game time rule changes, and it was
Oh, that's a good point.
primarily to Magic, but basically each army could only use their own general and their own BSB.
Mhm.
So even if it was the same faction, and then the Magic was limited, we said to 48
48
Yeah.
inches.
for dispelling or the maximum range of spells.
Maximum range of spells was 48,
Yeah.
and any spell that worked on all your allies only worked on your
Right.
force. And then the ogre Hellfist, of course, was limited to your army.
Only that, right? And,
And not even the other ogre army. Just
and there
your
was some
army.
spacing of armies, so there wasn't a lot of intermingling.
There
was a
wasn't.
little bit if somebody on.
And it actually was funny because being in a game this big, when you're talking about 21,000 on a side, Magic's a kind of a spitting in the wind.
Yes.
So what you did see is, I think out of the 10 armies there, I think only 4 had Magic.
I just know I summoned 4 critters.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so that's where you have it. We had the starting on the far left, we had the Skaven lined up against ogres. Another ogre army
Next to them, facing orcs and goblins.
my orcs and goblins,
in the center.
and another orc and goblin army on the close side. On the far side was Empire of Sanstall.
Yes.
Not just Empire anymore. Kingdom of Equitaine army.
Yep.
And the Kingdom of Equitaine player had very what do you want to call it? Very strong views about the terrain on his part of the board.
I don't know why I would have said that.
I don't see a problem. I see an impassable. I
Just-
see a field.
Just
a
because he
woods.
had a rock, a tower, a
And a
river,
river.
a diagonal river, 2 woods, and 2 fields. I mean, I didn't. There was no problems.
You don't see any issues there? I don't either. I don't know what his problem was. The other Equitaine player. See, this Equitaine player has clear sailing.
Yes, he did. Except he had a different problem.
And there is his opponent,
Yes.
stuffed in a corner.
Yes, which was his problem.
Those don't look like dwarves.
They don't, but they were behaving like them for a while.
Why are they stuck in a corner?
Well, the guy who runs them kind of looks like a dwarf. Yeah, I don't think he shaved on the weekend either, just to get the effect going.
Just to get the dwarven
And
effect.
this is the Chaos Army that was against my Equitaine army.
Right.
Across the river, the fields, the hills, and the woods, in between the tower and the rock.
Yeah, and there's another shot of the Empire army and the orc and goblin army. There's the other ogre army.
Coming back the other cross, everything's
back
pretty
the
much
other way.
set up now. Yeah.
The interesting thing, I mean, I love the looks of these big, huge units of orcs and goblins, and
There's your gun.
yeah,
This is a buddy of ours. He found this toy model and he's using it as a bomb. What the heck that thing's called again?
the
Whatever the
abomination,
I think it's still Abomination. Whatever it's called now.
right?
And this is the model. We all rather like the
I
model.
thought that was a Reaper Bones miniature, wasn't it?
No, he said it was actually pre-painted and everything. I don't know.
Was it
Some
really?
toy he found.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, none of us really like the GW model, but
That one that's up in
the
front
one
of
that's behind it or front of it or whatever the case is. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that model.
Yeah.
So you can see there's the ogres coming forward.
Oh.
They were lined up against me. Empire decides to head,
Or at this point, I'm sorry, are we moving or are we just
Yeah, I think
finishing
they're moving
setup?
at this
Okay,
point.
because this is Vanguard moves.
One thing you will see is, I think people are moving at this point. You will see these little bits and pieces of flock strewn out across the board. They're just there for decoration.
Right.
The ones that are formed up like along the field were hedges or whatever.
Right.
But the loose pieces out there were just kind of to break up the contour board.
We like foliage clusters.
Foliage clusters add a lot to a game,
Yes.
in our opinions. As well as the roads, they have no effect at all on the game. They're
Right.
open terrain. Again, they're just there for decoration. You can see, you'll see a lot of that throughout here.
Right.
And there it is, a block of 50 orcs.
There you
That's
go.
the way orcs are meant to be played.
Yeah, you don't see that kind of stuff much anymore.
Yeah, the game's shifting towards a MSU game.
Yeah, except for
Um,
elite guys.
Yeah. Fill up your core with MSU stuff and
Yeah, then make your elite the big blocks.
right. And these were plain orcs, by the way, not biggins, not Ed Bashers.
Yeah, you'll notice there's not a lot of power lists out here.
There were not powerless out here at all.
Like this Empire Sansa list doesn't have a single war machine,
Doesn't have a single war machine.
which he regretted
does
a
not,
lot later.
Well, the other thing he regretted a lot
And he
later
had-
was
and he
not
had no
having a
BSB.
Yeah.
He had to save some points, and that's what he went with. Yeah.
And this guy has an incredible. These are all the old metal figures that
Yes.
he has as well. These are
The old
he has an
GW original edition.
incredible amount of original GW
Yep.
Empire figures. There you go. Look at that.
Orcs and goblins coming forward. Aquitaine just sitting back as this
Keeping
group
your
of
space.
chaos knights and guys come forward. They all had speed banners and stuff, so they were coming rather quick.
Right. And Skaven versus the ogres. You can see
Yep.
the big rock thing over there in the poking out of the woods. There's doom wheels. Doom wheels are pretty ugly
Yes, they are.
still. And here's the chaos guys moving forward, coming across the field. Like I said, there was 10 of us playing. It was fun. The actual game actually went much faster than I anticipated.
We were done in the mid-afternoon. So,
Right.
and we see here the lizard's still kind of positioning, hiding in the corner.
Cayman are starting to
Came and poke
there
out a little bit. They come this and the snot's come spit, and they said the
Mhm.
cowboy out. And this was just that, the,
No one wants to deal with those guys. I don't know what the
not
problem
initially. No.
is. This was funny. The guy without the Empire player without the BSB, the unit of infantry panicked from something. I guess got shot off.
Got shot
7 models shot.
from the bow fire.
Panicked from bow fire. Ran through the
Large unit of
the ridiculous sized unit of
I forget what they called now.
the Griffin Knights
What are they called
and
now?
sent them packing.
Yes, and they
Knights
failed.
of the Griffin, I think.
The,
Yeah, and then turn 2.
so turn 2.
You can see the ogres.
Oh, we're still sitting kind of back. He hadn't played in
Yeah,
2 years. A lot of the players hadn't played in a while, so we were kind of,
it was a fun game.
It was a
and
fun
it was
game.
an exercise in
exactly.
yeah.
And just putting a lot of guys on the table.
Yep.
And then
You can see this Skaven.
we have on the far flank, it's a Skaven and engaging the other Ogre Kingdom player.
Yep. And then they did. You can see both units did rally back there on the top of the
Yes,
board.
barely.
Although he's for some reason reformed that unit 6 wide now
Yes.
of the Griffin Knights.
Yeah. He liked to have that big unit.
I'm not real sure what was going on with that, but whatever.
The only bad thing is we weren't the only ones in the store. There were so many people. I couldn't even hardly hear
It
anybody.
was a loud day. Yes.
It was a very loud day. So yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the spiders and the trolls and rotlings advancing on.
Spider might look familiar.
Yeah. It's not,
Borrowed mine. He doesn't have
actually,
one.
you can't see my bolt thrower in the woods was shooting the whole time.
And he had a bolt thrower sniping at you the whole time too. Didn't
He did, but I had the one. You can't see it. It's hidden in the woods. But
Is
it
it
was,
in that woods at the
it was
middle?
shooting. It was. Oh, sorry. It's on the other side.
Okay.
The other picture.
Yeah, I can see the one up here on the hill.
Yeah, that's when I chaffed up those guys.
And you can see the cowboy over there just hanging around on the back of the hill.
Yes.
On the top of the picture.
And that unit red is a unit of Grail Knights.
It is.
The-
And he sent the other unit. He had a second unit of Grail Knights, which he sent down to help you.
well, originally they were coming around, and then he got him out of position, and he didn't know what he was going to do against the guys hunked up in the corner. Orcs and goblins pushing forward again.
Yeah, the one thing that Gargantua is really, really good at.
Is chewing up infantry.
Yes, it is.
It's only strength 4.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it just looks like the knights are not looking in the right direction at the moment.
Yeah. Well, when they do, bad things
Because
happen.
you know what the knights are.
Oh, and you get the little chariot unit charging in.
Yeah, I managed to charge 3 chariots into his ogre guy, left my guy, and, left the. This is the ogres on the player to my left.
Right.
I just jumped across there. I had the opportunity to charge 3 chariots into his flank, so I had to take it. And there you can see.
And here there was a charge of what was left of that one unit of knights. It was getting spit the heck out of, and they
Those
beat the
3 knights
salamanders,
at the
but
very bottom.
they didn't catch him, unfortunately. He couldn't make his pursuit rolls. He was having a bad day for that.
Okay. You can see
Spiders are back.
the Empire starting to push on the left side.
Yep. Pump wagons moved forward.
Although now the
Whatever it's called.
Nasher herd's out there, and that's a scary
Yes.
thing for.
Unfortunately.
That's a scary unit for anything in front of it.
Yeah. And then the spiders up on the fence fighting the whatever the heck they are called, the Imperial Guard. And those Imperial Guard are hand weapon and shield. They're not great swords.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that didn't.
Because of
work
the
out.
models he has, and he
Yeah.
chaffed up the halberd guys. And then these guys here are, what are they called? They're the light infantry guys
Okay.
with D3 attacks each.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 units of them.
Okay, 2 units of 5 or 6.
Yeah, and then he had the banners, so everything within 12 got an extra inch of movement. So his guys were actually pretty fast. And the plus movement banner.
And
on
those are going to be your
a
knights.
nice aspirant. Yeah.
Okay. There's a cluster right there.
Yes.
2 units on that unit yeoman.
Yeah. Yes, I chaffed him up, and then he decided he had no choice but to hit with both units, the knights in the flank and the other guys. And the hope there was that the pursuit move, they would block the knights from charging.
And there's the other unit.
The
There's that
Grail
unit,
Knight
Grail Knights I
decided
was
to come over.
mentioning.
Yeah,
Came over to.
Yeah.
Since they couldn't find the lizards, they decided to come over and look for somebody else to fight.
Because what happened was he had set up first, and then he was across the entire front, and then the lizard man guy just set up in the corner, so he didn't know how to bring his guys around. And when he had the one unit, they got the heck spit out of it. He didn't and lost a lot of models. He was afraid to bring his Grail Knights over there.
Yeah. 3 chariots cannot eliminate an ogre on a tusker, apparently.
Looks like it caused him a wound.
It actually caused him 3.
Okay.
Came close.
Yeah.
He did have the bluffer's helm, so I think that was about average for the number of hits I rolled.
Okay. We'll see what happened different here. I think there's some
For the
shooting.
Empire. So things just kind of spread out here.
Oh, the Imperial Guard got wiped out by the trolls and the
Correct.
spider.
The trolls overran.
And the trolls overran.
And I think the spider overran as well into the front of that spear block, but we'll see.
Yeah. And then once he surprisingly wiped out those mounted
Did he
yeomen.
he only killed one of your aspirants with that
That's right.
charge?
Yes. He was only strength 4, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I guess
And
1s and 2s. You only
no.
missed 1?
yeah, and I was lucky. So,
Looks like it.
well, I was lucky with the saves. They never rallied. They ran off the table.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you didn't, unless did you lose the 1 from the field, not from
No,
fight?
it was
Okay.
it was from getting killed. Yeah.
Just check.
Yeah.
All right. More stuff moving around. There's
Yep.
the.
We got that in back order. We showed we saw the
Oh,
victory.
That's true.
Yeah.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't know how that one got flipped. There you go. There's
There
the
you go.
result of that.
Yes. So went through, and then the spider connects with the unit of halberds that
Right.
are not on the fence.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not that it was going to help them for more than a turn anyway, but
Yeah. And everybody helps.
and me and my opponent were just kind of sitting back laughing at each other.
Yes.
Just scoffing at each other.
Yeah.
Most of the time. You can see up on the top of the board I've got 2 units of wolf riders just harassing him, shooting arrows because the scrap launcher's only T4, so I can actually just launch stuff at it and try to hurt it.
Yeah. You can try.
Yeah, it didn't do well, but it was fun. Kept him occupied. Looks like the Skaven are in a very strong position at this point.
They're just hunkered up in the middle.
Just hunkered right there in the middle and letting the
Zapping
world break
things.
around them.
We get turn 3, and we're back with you again.
Back with me again, of course.
So the standoff continues, and we've got the far flank.
And there's the Skaven.
Skaven just are slowly
Vermin
moving forward.
swarm.
Vermin swarm,
Excuse me.
sorry, yes. And here we have the lizards in the corner, and
Is that a second cowboy out there running around?
yes, he had 2 of them.
Okay.
And 2 units, and both he was playing both Story Nations with spears, so that's why he didn't want to engage them.
Oh yeah, I wasn't nowhere near those.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Ugh.
And then we combo charged the whatever
Yeah,
these things are
are
called
those
now.
your Grail Knights?
Those are his Grail Knights, and those are my Grail Knights. Yes.
2 units of Grail Knights.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Rock in the front of the Plague Pendulum.
Yes. And then,
Yeah. What's one thing that does happen in these games is you do kind of get focused on your little section of the battle.
and you don't know what's happening around you, absolutely,
then-
because of distances and everything.
Right. And then you start walking around like, how'd that happen?
Yeah, exactly. You
And
see here the goblins are moving forward slightly, and
Yeah. Because I walk down at this point and I'm like, why are those guys 6 wide still?
yeah.
Why?
And
how
he
does that
charged
make
and he
sense?
defeated the spider riders, and that's what happened there with
Oh,
the Pegasus.
yes.
Yeah.
The Pegasus guy crushed them
Yeah.
all, really? Or
Well,
chased them
he
down
beat
or
them
whatever.
and then chased them down. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you still staring
And
at
I
each
finally,
other.
I finally edged out, and those guys are finally advancing out from
Looks
their
like you backed up
village.
your wolf riders.
off on the right. They did.
Yeah.
He actually, that unit on the hill is a unit of Noblars. It's a unit of 50 Noblars.
Yeah.
They about faced and shot off one of my unit of wolf riders.
Yes.
Luckily, the other one made their panic check and just backed
And
off.
how often in a game do you see a unit of 50 Noblars? So,
Exactly. About as often as you see 50 common orcs.
yeah.
Yeah.
So your
no.
character and your Nashers up on.
At least the
certain
Noblars are
flags.
actually they're actually decent.
Yeah.
So so I sent the Nasher character up there just to harass him. It's
Yeah.
just bouncing out around everyone's charge arcs, just threatening everybody, but it's not going to do anything up there by itself.
And the spiders making short work of those halberd
Two
guys.
combat phases later, and they're down to what, 12?
Yeah, and he's bringing the knights around now, but then there's a
That Mad Git sitting right in
Mad
front
gets
of
sitting right in front of him. He'd lost some to what do you call them?
him. Oh, the Git launchers.
Get launchers. That's why there's less knights.
Mm. Oh, look at that. Some
So
guys
what?
coming through the field.
Yeah, basically the Pegasus Knights charged the unit. I think there was a picture we got lost here.
No.
Charged one unit of the whatever they're called.
Forsaken, maybe?
I think they're called something else now. I don't
Okay.
remember, but whatever they are. And then beat them, and then pursued and ran into the next unit and wiped them out too.
Oh, you killed 2 units, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually pretty good.
And then those Knights on the Hill aren't there. We had
That's the dead pile. by
yeah,
the
it was
way.
very. After we killed the monstrous cav, both units were able to pursue and smack into his knight unit, which also had his BSB and his general,
Ooh.
which we were rather concerned with because we thought that those 2 characters might just hack through all of our guys.
Right.
Getting the charge off was a big deal because we were strength 6 and.
Yeah, is that the general and BSB there fleeing?
Yes,
or
it
the
is.
BSB's dead.
The general and the BSB are was it general and BSB? Is the general? Where's the BSB? I think it's the general and the BSB. I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
It's been so long since we played. Oh, now you see that ogre standing there?
Yeah, and the one down here on the
And
bottom.
the one on the bottom, those are actually summoned beasts from shamanism. So
That's
he had
totemic summons?
it's totemic summons. So he had rolled up there, and that dog is actually there. I shot and I shot and I shot. I could not get rid of the stupid dog, and he's put it in front so it will block the totemic summons from hitting him in the flank with his one combat block that's left. His general and his BSB are running from the combat. We didn't do anything to him, but we wiped out the unit.
Right.
They ran away.
You couldn't catch him, or
but-
did you try?
Didn't catch him.
Okay.
The other 9 unit just turned to face the
Okay.
reformed. I got confused what turn it was. What phase of the turn we were on, I
Okay.
should say, because I kept running over to the side talking to the Empire player,
Right.
answering questions. So
Is that unit on top fleeing, or
no,
up there in the far top?
it was a turn before the The warriors were like in that gap,
Oh,
so I
okay.
just about faced my knights and walked them
Just
around.
moved okay.
I was trying to draw them out so the other guys could get behind these
Got
other
it.
guys.
Understood. So
'Cause
now you can
everyone
see
knows
the-
Aquitaine is best as an avoidance army.
So now that we're at turn 4 or 5 or wherever we are, you can see the Saurian Ancients finally coming out of their corner.
Yes, and that one cowboy was just dancing around this unit of
Grail
Grail
Knights on the
Knights.
top.
Yes. He'd actually fought, it's not showing there, he'd fought the Croxagores, Cayman earlier, and he'd beat them, losing a number of knights, but he couldn't catch them in the pursuit, and they managed to rally, so that's what that small unit of 2 Cayman guys are.
Somehow I think that Scrap Wagon's not going to do well against that fight. It's,
Yes,
it's
yes.
lining up for.
There is that, yes.
And then apparently that Nasher herd charged, and the swordsman on the left fled.
Correct, and they fled, that's
Just to
that's
get out of
correct.
there, which was a smart decision.
Yeah. You didn't want to fight those guys.
Here's a good picture of the
So
scope
here's,
of this.
I thought you had a picture, I guess we didn't, it wasn't not clear of the whole table before we set anybody up.
I did not
Oh, okay.
get a good clear
So this
picture
is
of
the full table. So the table on the near side is 5 foot deep. On the back side, it's 4 foot deep.
Mhm.
But it's a total of, I'm trying to remember my numbers now, 14 plus,
that. Well, there's 2 8-foot tables. The 2 in front are 8.
Yeah,
and the
that's
2 in the
16
back are 6.
16 and 12. So
It's
it's
28, and then whatever the spacer
plus
was.
the 3 foot spacer, 4 foot
Right.
spacer, sorry.
Yeah,
So 32.
so around 32.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it was
And-
it was a lot.
using American measurements. But so yes, it was a very long table.
It was. Moving on.
And we all have the same ground cost. They're actually blankets from Kmart that were on sale that we bought a few
That's
years
true.
ago.
Somebody, I think it was you, spotted them.
It was me.
Spotted them and said, "Hey,
I'm always looking for terrain when I go
Yeah.
to different kinds of stores.
these things make great ground cloths." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll
Yeah.
grab one." And then I think John grabbed one. You grabbed 2 or 3.
I grabbed
and
3, and other guys
So
grabbed 2.
yeah, we've got plenty of these things
yeah,
now.
yeah. So all the ground cloth is always the same color.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's still grinding
which is
on.
nice. That's a nice picture of your unit.
Yeah, this is my Pegasus Knights after they've stomped both of those warrior units.
And you don't run them skirmish, or didn't in this
I didn't
game,
in
at
this
least.
game because I said 4,000 points. You gotta
I don't
make
know. Yeah.
some decisions with Aquitaine.
Yeah, and we're still just playing around over here.
Yes.
We're having a great time.
Yep. Now you're engaged.
The the funny thing is, one thing I mean, that rock thing on the left, the big monster,
Yeah.
was in the woods on the first turn, and my chariots walked up to it at 21 inches away. 9 shots from the chariot, needing 7s to hit it, 6s to wound it, put 2 wounds on it on the first turn of the game.
What happened to the other one?
Which was
how'd you get rid of
ridiculous.
it?
The Black Orc. I don't know why that's another picture out of order, I think.
Okay.
The
Iron Orcs got him or something?
Iron Orcs
Okay.
crashed into the other one and smashed it
Okay.
with the help of the...
So
yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry. Anyway,
I don't know where you are now.
go
Okay.
ahead. Sorry.
So back on the flank, now that the guys are coming out, he decides he doesn't want to fight them, so he's backing his knights off to spread them
Yeah.
out, hoping to swirl around a bit.
Yeah, well, those guys got spears. He doesn't want to fight them.
Yeah.
I can understand. That's tough. Man, here you guys are...
Yeah, there's actually, you can't see that. There's a bolt
Oh, I
thrower.
guess you left
sitting
one
over there.
alive, or is that a dead pile?
To be perfectly honest, I think he is still alive.
Okay.
Yes, I don't think I pursued after the one because there was a bolt. There was a line. There was a line of war
Actually,
machines that you can't see.
I can
behind
see
the
the
woods
bolt
there.
thrower poking out of that one
Yeah, you see the
tree.
one, and there's like 2 more over there.
Oh, is
yeah.
there? Okay.
I get launched from one of those. Yeah, you can barely see my bolt thrower in the woods in the corner.
So there's your other one.
So he decided instead of charging, he was going to try to slip through the gap, which he did.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
He's done fighting,
Yes.
outnumbered 17 to 1.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So here, the knights for the EOS charged, and that one freaking
Mad Git.
Mad Git basically took out most of the unit. I mean, when you walk over them, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah. And then he, to add insult, he actually charged the flank of the spider, and he failed his fear test.
Oh,
So his character, which is
top one.
top in the unit, I'm trying to remember what he
Missed
gave him.
or what?
I think he had the ogre sword.
Okay.
So he didn't hit, didn't cause any wounds with the character. And the knights charging also missed. So
Wow.
he didn't cause a single wound on the spider.
And those guys on the swordsman up on top have eliminated the trolls, though.
Yes, the swordsman got the
I think
trolls
they
in the
hit 'em
flank, and they managed to win, beat them, and they chased them down.
That's handy.
Yeah.
Moving on to turn 5.
So now the Skaven,
See the Skaven,
sorry, the Vermin Swarm.
Vermin Swarm and the Ogre Scrum is still
yes,
going on. But
they're like turning the flank and towards each other.
But the Ogres
They're not
definitely
facing the
turned their
opposite direction.
flank.
Yes, and vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
And all the big Gribblies are gone.
The big monsters are all gone.
Yeah.
There we go. I finally launched my attack out of my
Yes.
corner. And there you go. That's where the Iron Orcs killed the
And
Beastie
and I
and
see
the
that
other
you're
Nasher
sweeping
guy.
forward with your Nashers towards the War Machine.
The Nashers, yeah, the Nasher herd
Yeah.
is pursuing forward.
Yes, yeah.
There we go.
And then here, the spider ended up eating.
What was remaining of the
Yes.
halberdiers?
No, the
spearmen.
general and his
The knights.
and his buddy. So they're gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. That's terrible.
And then the spider just
Well, at least that unit of Griffin Knights is finally formed up in a decent
yeah,
formation.
they got rid of the
the scrap wagon.
The scrap wagon.
And reformed.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Okay.
he was shooting at the Nashers a bit. Over here, the Pegasus clipped the
What is that there in the
Bolthor.
center there?
Which one?
Like dead center, middle, of the, right there? Whatever that...
That's the last guy.
Oh, that's that guy we saw
Yeah.
running a minute ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So you've ignored him and gone after the
Yes.
bolt
was trying to do
skewer.
Something to help my friends out.
Yeah.
And then returning the Knights, we were trying to decide, but it was late in the game which way we were going to go. But because of the distances, we decided just to chase over on the flank. And then we had the long march of the warriors. This was actually quite entertaining, and he played it pretty well because of the terrain and everything. We were having challenge to get our angles, and he'd marched, and then he'd flee when everyone kept telling him to fight, but he'd flee. And he'd flee just far enough
To get away.
then he'd reform, and we get in position again. Then he'd flee. It was, and he'd rally. It was pretty funny just how.
He's just trying to preserve
And he
this last unit.
and he made the perfect die rolls every time, so he was always out of arc of pretty much everybody.
That's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, somehow this one got sorted out there. This is the picture of where
Okay.
they beat the big beastie.
Oh, okay. So that,
And
this
you
is
can
not,
see the guy was in the
wrong position.
The
Okay.
Nasher guy was in the flank of him as well.
yeah. Okay.
And then the Nasher herd broke through,
broken
and here
through.
they are. Look at that! They're in perfect position for everything.
They've got some perfect targets to go eat on.
Yeah, they do.
Except those big-
But there is a big unit of Noblars, and
And they got
he
stuff.
didn't want to reform them, so he just pointed that charge arc, and that's the way they're facing.
Okay.
So they are facing to the right.
Okay. And that was earlier in the game.
So yeah, there I am with my breakthrough.
So you had
These guys are.
what did he arm him with?
And there's my breakthrough.
Throwing weapons or
bows.
bows? Okay. So it's only 50 shots.
Bows. 50 bow shots.
He's still got one left.
I still got one left. We did the math. He should have only killed, I think it was, I don't know what the number was,
Yeah.
but actually, yeah, it was 50 bow shots. Actually, it was 60.
60 bow shots.
It was 60, but this is a unit of 60, I believe, because I think they're
6, 7,
I think they're
8,
12 wide at the moment.
9, 10 or 11. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
big. Anyway,
Yeah.
we did the math, and I think he was supposed to kill 15 because he's supposed to hit
Yeah.
30 and wound
Instead,
15.
he got all but one.
He got all but one.
He got one little guy that looks like he's taking a dump.
He is after that.
Exactly.
After he just saw 20 of his friends just get blown off the board.
And there, the Pegasus Knights, that Bolthor is not there anymore.
So
And it's not in the picture. I had summoned a totemic summons, and it had eaten another war machine.
So what happened?
Oh, one shot one on. Somebody said use a breath weapon on one, then he charged the next turn and ate the other one.
Oh, the war machines.
Yeah.
So what happened to the Griffin Knights? I only see 2 there. Do you have any idea?
So the Griffin Knights actually charged forward to this block on the far left that had 3 Mad Gits in him. He sent them out, and he ran over 3 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was left with 2 guys.
Ooh.
And he failed his charge, just so it was even better.
Did they panic, or
Yeah.
that happened earlier?
I'm trying to remember how he got over here.
Okay.
I think he did panic, and then he rallied there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's terrible. So they've moved on down past
Yes.
to the
Now
house
you see,
now.
yeah, they're working their way forward.
But look at this. He's surrounded. He's got a
Yeah.
unit of knights down
Well,
here.
this knight unit here,
The one on the bottom.
yeah, needed to be facing in this way, not
Correct.
facing that direction. So yeah, my knights are relatively far behind. So if he runs, he's probably
Relatively
not gonna
far
catch him.
behind. You're like a foot at best.
I'm saying
Yeah.
if he runs, I probably won't catch him. So
Right, but he does have a unit in front of him too, right?
he's got that unit's actually fleeing.
Oh, because that's
That cowboy
cowboy
actually
chasing
charged
him
it
down.
and beat it, and he's chasing
got it.
him. Yes,
Understood. And the
Yeah.
ones up top, are they dead or running?
those guys are running also.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
and here
And
you see
now
that
the
cowboy
brave-
managed to get a flank charge on the
The
Grail
Grail
Knights.
Yep. And the brave Saurian warriors are coming out of their corner.
Yes,
Now that it's near the end of the game.
yes, and you can see his casualties are in the far corner. That's all he's lost. It was not
Wow.
a good day to be Equitane on that flank.
On that flank, no.
And here we've got the turn of the flank, which is kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
So we've got the battle is turned 109, it's turned 90 degrees.
90 degrees,
From the
correct.
original setup, if people remember. Yeah.
Okay. And those Skaven units aren't going to hold up to that.
And then here
This-
you're out of position again.
So, yeah, the
Yeah.
stupid rocket rock keeps popping back up.
Exactly. It's like, what does it think?
There's a good picture of the way of the fight went.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, like
Just
that.
from 2 turns ago, but
It
that's
was
okay.
just 2 turns ago.
And there it is getting beat.
Yeah.
And okay.
And yeah, those ogre bulls are just grinding my unit
Yes.
down. They are common orcs. They're strength 3. They're, whatever.
And it's really thinning out here. Because
It is
most
thinning
everything
out
on that
here, but
table is
those
casualties.
Mercenary unit right there in the center just wrecked that unit of slaves, and now it's
I'm shocked that would happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's turned about to face that the plague furnace or whatever
Right.
that thing is.
And he's got the chariot over here on the flank going somewhere.
Yeah, it was headed down here towards my side of the game for
Ah.
some reason.
I guess he thought he needed to help out, and then things didn't go so
Then
well.
things went completely opposite on his side.
Yes.
Needed him around.
So
Wow, look at that.
these are all the charges. Yeah.
Everyone's charging at this unit, but you can't get it.
Right.
More of the Saurians coming out.
And then now
Oops.
the actually the cowboy
Ugh.
challenged off. He actually won the fight.
The cowboy did.
Yeah,
And
even
they
with the
turned
rank
the
bonus,
face.
but they turned the face.
Looks like he wiped out the back rank though.
Well, he wiped out the champion plus the
Oh, okay.
he had the flank. He had the casualty. He had the overkill. So
Okay.
yeah,
So the champion challenged him off.
yes,
So the ogre here it was the ogre bulls finally bruisers or whatever, not bruisers, but the ogres tribesmen finally crushed my orcs, ran them down, and here I am with this big goblin unit in their side,
yes.
and I needed to roll a 5 to get to them. They were 9 inches away. A 4, my champion makes it. One of 2 rolls that don't go.
Yes.
Anyway, whatever. Yeah, they failed me.
Yeah. Let's see. The Pegasus had swept around. I think it killed his rock lobber
Okay.
previous turn. And then he charged the back. It was the back of the goblins. He may still be facing that way. I can't tell in the photo.
It looks like he's got a missing rank in the back. So
yeah,
it's
but I think they
probably-
turned around later.
Yeah, it looks like you killed some in a charge, and then they.
Yeah, he
made their
had
check.
killed them, and then he sent the other guys to try to get to them. He had sent his spearmen into
That block of goblins.
that block of goblins, and then
Well, I mean, the general's right there, so he can't win that fight.
yeah, and then
The
I
war
sent the Pegasus came around, and that ogre's actually a totemic summons. He had 2 units. He said 2 what do you call them?
Mad Gits.
Madgit. So I didn't want to go after that thing.
Which one?
The bigger block.
Up
The
on top.
temptation would have been to charge him, but with 2 Madgits, it would have been
Yeah.
very painful for 8 wounds of Pegasus Knights. Which, the funny thing is, once again, you see the spider. The spiders at this point got 2 wounds on him. In that woods is a unit of 10 archers. I'm sorry, 10.
Brigands.
Were they
Do you have brigands or
archers?
not?
No, they were regular archers. 10 archers, and one bolt thrower.
Yeah, I can see, kind of barely see the bolt thrower up there
Yeah.
at the top.
The bolt thrower has been shooting at that spider for the entire game when he wasn't in combat, which was one turn. He never hit the entire game. However, the archers, all 10 of them, through the end of the game, had put 3 wounds on the spider.
Really?
Yeah.
Leave it to the archers.
Exactly. With their
Leave the
power,
archers.
that 10 strength 3 shots is, nothing to sneeze at, I guess.
Yeah, and here's a great use for iron orcs.
Okay. Yes.
Fight Noblars.
There you go.
I'm actually up there fighting them.
Oh, okay. You're not getting shot at by that.
No, I wasn't getting shot at them.
So it looks like he fought the pendulum and lost a lot of guys, but there's no more pendulum.
Crushed the pendulum.
Yeah.
And you can see it placed over there on the top. Just
Okay.
set aside.
And he's got a cowboy down here fighting the
yeah,
the
fighting
other
this
unit of
clan rat.
clan rats,
whatever
I guess they are,
now.
yeah.
I forget what they're called now.
yeah.
And now, since the goblins didn't
And
charge
he's turned
him,
to face the the chariot to shoot it off.
correct. Well, no, he doesn't have a. His gun is broken at this
Oh,
point.
so he's going to try to use it as a charge.
Yes.
He's going to try to charge it and fight it.
He's going to
Okay.
charge him.
All right. So he charged you because
Actually,
you failed?
he charged the guy. That cannon was up on top of the hill.
Oh, he charged.
He
and
charged
failed?
down and killed my guy on the cave squig.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The
Gnasher.
Gnasher.
Okay.
He killed that guy on the Gnasher and then ended up
Okay.
and ran me down here.
I see. Okay.
Actually, I think he may not have killed me outright. I don't know. But
Okay.
anyway, he ended up here. So then
And then it looks like the other one charged your iron orcs in the flank.
yeah, and then the Scrap Lancer charged to my iron orcs in the flank.
And then he charged with his tribesmen. And
Yeah, since I didn't charge him, he
since you
figured he would
failed your charge.
me.
Okay.
And this is really good because I'm, more
Is that a
than,
character running back there by himself?
No, it's a single guy left in his unit.
Oh, okay. Oh, that always,
Of one of his units.
that's always annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With nowhere else to go.
And Pegasus Knights make it into the flank.
Yeah. No.
And the infantry don't make their charge.
It would have been nice if they came and helped you.
It would be.
Wow,
Yeah.
he is really moving down the board, isn't he? With that warrior
Yes.
unit.
Yes. He had fled again. There's actually, you can't see it. There's a cowboy behind the house that the Saurian
I
player
can see
thought he
his
was.
tail sticking out.
Yeah, I
maybe.
thought he was going to be sneaky, but I ended up charging him, and he ended up deciding to run away.
Okay. Yeah. And
Wow.
I made my 6 and stuck around for a
Looks
turn.
like you actually killed a few too.
And I killed a few. I actually had a really good turn that
Yeah.
turn. And
Although they took the arm off of the one
they
guy.
just beating the. It's what
Yeah.
happens when ogres fight goblins.
Did they beat you with your own arm? I
Yes.
mean,
So here you can see the ogres have just finished up the vermin swarm.
so what's
I mean,
left of the ogres are, let me get this, we got a character and 3 mercenaries.
Is that a character or for the ogres? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the vermin swarm have those 5
Whatever they call the
skirmishing guys
yeah,
up
the-
there. They have the
the
cannon up
cannon.
here on the hill, and then I don't know what this is in the field.
I don't know what he's
'Cause
playing.
I don't
it
think
as.
he had rat ogres.
I don't think he.
Or
I don't know.
whatever
I
they
don't know what he had. So it's been running around.
And
whatever
of course, they have the fleeing unit of.
so
playing.
they got away at least.
They did.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got so far away.
That looks
No,
like-
this is after they fled and then continued
Yeah.
fleeing on his.
Looks like he tried to charge and he didn't
tried-
quite make it with
He,
his.
he came up an inch short of charging this.
Yeah.
I mean, that was classic. I mean, they both have like a wound left or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
So they're just trying to finish each other off.
So the goblins got wiped out.
Looks like that spider caught up with the Griffin Knights up top.
It did. the,
Wow, you wiped out the. Oh, I guess you ran them down.
he ran him down. We actually killed
No,
him.
no, I'm saying you ran down the big unit of goblins.
Yeah, he did with his Pegasus guy.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, you probably held. It looks like.
I don't remember. I think we
Yes,
stopped there.
based
We
on
just
where it
didn't,
is.
we didn't do anything
Oh,
else.
okay.
I don't recall.
There's
And the goblin ate his little unit of spearmen. There's a totemic summons there, and the totemic summons actually happened before. Charged into his orc character on the boar, and
yeah,
couldn't quite do the deed.
looks like he's got 1 wound left.
Yep.
Yeah, a whole horde of
And he's
Aquitaine knights.
And he's formed up again.
You didn't lose a whole lot, did you?
I did not.
Okay, because I see most of these, all 4 of these units are yours, and how the Grail Knights from
Well,
the
no,
other guy get
3.
behind yours.
3 units are mine. Oh yeah, the archers are mine also. I lost 2 knights.
Okay.
Yeah. And my aspirants. They ran
Oh,
up-
because
they-
that's his knights over there on the right.
Yeah, mine are the. I only had 2. I had 2 units of knights, and I had the aspirants. So
Okay. Wow. And
because I had a mage, which was casting like a
the totemic summons a turn.
I was doing all kinds of stuff. But
Was anybody trying to spell anything you did?
yeah, he was worried about some of the other things. He was worried about me getting
Okay.
+1 strength, toughness, and
So this has come down to the end of it here, and you can see that
Yeah.
he's still butchering me. Parts of me are flying everywhere.
yeah,
The what he has, there's a character. The BSB is on the right. His general's on the, sorry, his BSB is on the top of that unit. The bottom guy in that unit is his general, and the guy in the middle is an ogre with 2 wounds on him.
yeah,
So he has 1 wound left on that unit.
yeah.
And then, of course, the 2 characters. Up top, this is annoying. I can't run down the stupid Noblars. I do have one.
Well, you beat him at least.
I do only have 1 Iron Orc left.
Oh, and you
Two
killed.
characters.
And you killed the scrap wagon.
And I did kill the scrap wagon that charged into my flank.
Oh wow.
That, on the right-hand side of my unit was my BSB.
Oh, okay.
And when that thing charged in, it does it impact hits, and then the BSB turned around and smacked it.
Right.
It
Okay.
only had like 1 wound left.
Okay.
It was just coming in for impact hits.
Yep.
But a 21,000 on a side game,
Yes.
and it was settled by 214
Yes.
points. This was
A
ridiculous.
1% victory is a victory.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It was amazing because people were just feeding me off numbers at the end of this, and I was adding them up, and I was like, that can't be right.
Yeah.
So there was some good stuff going on and some bad stuff going on.
Yeah. You had a couple of wipeouts, and you had a couple of one-sided fights and a couple of even fights. It just went all over, but it was pretty funny. Yeah.
But this was actually turned out to be a really great way to end a game like this
Yes.
close. Is
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
where it's no, because no one really goes on a loser in this game.
Well, it was first because we'd forgot. There was a couple things that gotten forgotten. You had to correct it.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
It was further apart than this when then we made some changes.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, look at that.
So, but yeah, I mean, it was a good time. And it wasn't. And we played. I mean, we started. What time we start?
They opened at
10.
10, and we didn't really get started till like at least 11:30. 11:30 when we finally got started.
And we were done.
Because we still had to do a lot of the setup that morning. And then
Yeah.
some of the guys came in a little bit late, of course.
Right.
And then by the time you get your army out on the board,
Well, I think that went fast. I think it took a while for people to get their army set up.
it did.
And then we still did like 3 turns or 2 turns before we broke for lunch.
We broke for lunch at like 1:30, and we had gotten 3 turns
Yeah,
done.
3 turns.
Yeah.
And then, the other thing we did is at the end of turn 6, we were doing the old rule where you rolled
Yeah.
randomly,
50, on a
50,
4-up,
50.
we played one more turn, and we did.
and we ended up playing 7 turns.
Yes.
And we were done, 4:30, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It actually
So-
went by much faster.
Yeah.
than I
Now, part of it's because most of us had relatively small armies, but
4,000 is not that small.
yeah, I mean, you see
But-
people mostly with 45.
Right.
A lot of people push for 5,000, of course, but and we also had a number of players who didn't play a lot, so the matchups were kind of important. So we had people, could help each other, and just
Yeah,
have
we
fun,
did set up the board so that we placed experienced players near inexperienced players wherever
Right.
we could
Right.
to kind of help out with that.
Yeah, but it was fun.
But it was a fun game, and that's what we have for you for the 100th battle report.
So
There you have
so
it.
214 points for number 100.
Yeah, there's almost only one victory point per.
So we had a request that the game be you against me, but we didn't do that. But we were both in this game and
We were both
on
in this
opposite
game,
sides.
and we were on
Hopefully
opposite
it's close
sides.
enough.
We were a couple people apart. but
Yeah.
we were opposite.
Yeah.
We will have to do that eventually.
Eventually, yes.
One of your
have to tape it.
one of yours versus mine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for now.
Till next time.
Thanks for listening.